This is the kind of crazy thing that people actually do when they're getting ready to break up with someone. They start going to the gym because they want to like make their options better. The other part of this, if you think, okay, well, I'm just going to let myself go and it's like, and it's not, it doesn't affect my partner or they shouldn't judge me on that. Yeah, but if it affects your own self-esteem, you're also hurting your partner. You don't want to have sex with someone who's constantly like, oh, I look fat. Even though you're working out, even though you're not eating a lot of food because you're not hitting the protein. But if you eat protein, you end up building muscle. When you do the cardio on top of that, now that cardio is burning the fat.
Energy.
Well, and also like this is the kind of crazy thing that people actually do, which is that when they're getting ready to break up with someone, they start going to the gym because they want to like, you know, make their options better for the neck. So it's like, why for a damn stranger, you're going to do the thing like, but you can't do it from your partner. Like, please do it for your partner first. And don't do it for a stranger that you haven't even met yet. Like that's ridiculous. You know, it's, but the other part of it too, is that it's so funny. Cause I actually just remembered I saw this clip where I was a little bit taken aback by it, but it's actually pretty relevant. Is this guy, it was a podcast. I don't remember what the podcast was, but he said, the woman said, oh yeah, were there any times that you weren't attracted to me? And she's like, yeah, there was 2 times in our relationship that I wasn't attracted to you. And he said, oh, when I gained weight. And she's like, yeah, one of them was when you gained weight, but not for the reason that you think.
Oh.
And she said that because there's some period where he let himself go and he gained a bunch of weight. And she said that she didn't even care. Like the physical part of it, like it didn't even look bad, but he thought he looked bad.
Oh.
And he had such low self-confidence and she lost attraction for him, not because he gained weight,
right,
but because of what the gaining weight did to him and made him just self-deprecating himself all the time and talking about how fat he was and like, and it just made her not be attracted to him. You know, and so the thing about that is that the other part of this, if you think, okay, well, I'm just going to let myself go and it's like, and it's not, it doesn't affect my partner or they shouldn't judge me on that. Yeah, but if it affects your own self-esteem, you're also hurting your partner because you're going to show up in a way that no one wants. You know, it's like you don't want to have sex with someone who's constantly like, oh, I look fat. And it's like...
And I was doing that not that long ago. I feel so bad.
Well,
like
you do, because you...
But...
You know, because
I want to be honest because it's not like I don't even still do that. Like I told you that like I have always kind of been healthy and that is true. But also the reality is that sometimes when I'm feeling a little pudgy, I don't feel good about myself and I feel very self-conscious and I'm like,
but you show up
like,
in a
don't
bad...
look at my stomach or something, you know?
When you feel bad about yourself, you show up in a bad way for your partner because no one likes to have someone around that just is like feels bad about themselves. Like I mean,
well, no one likes feeling bad either.
Yeah, no one likes.
And no
so
one
it's
wants
like
to be
so
around
the solution is to do the things that make you feel good about yourself. And you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to have a perfect body, and you can't wait to feel good about yourself until you have a perfect body. That's not what I'm saying. But if you do the things you're supposed to do, that should be good enough.
Right.
To
it
make
does
you feel
give
good about yourself.
A different sort of confidence because, like, I guess we'll go into the things that I've been doing different because I've been going to my fitness classes and things like that. And that's why too, I think I was extra hard on myself. And that's something to talk about as well too, because I was going and I was doing the stuff and I wasn't eating that bad. I was eating like 1 meal a day, but I was like, I don't really feel good. And I know that you could tell because I could tell like it was really starting to bother me. And then when you were like, maybe you need to like start eating some more protein again, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. And I had listened to another podcast and I was like, you know, I think I need to eat in the morning. Like, I think my body isn't responding well to eating 1 meal a day. Yeah. And so I've been doing that for like this week and you and I both have noticed a difference and I feel better. I feel better.
Yeah, it's better.
And I think people need to understand too that sometimes you might be doing something, you might be doing a fitness regimen and you might be doing a certain diet and you still don't feel good about yourself. Change it. Like, don't be afraid to change it. Change something. Like, and like you've helped me realize the protein's very important. It's hard to get a ton of protein, but it is doable. And, you know, as women too, it's not for every woman, but I do feel like my body operates better eating basically 3 meals a day, at least 2, but not fasting. Like I was fasting a lot of times the way that you were fasting.
Yeah. See, I didn't even realize you were fasting during 1 meal a day.
I mean, I wasn't intentionally.
Yeah, but it was.
But it ended up being like, okay, I would just skip breakfast or you know, because I would go to my classes that are typically in the morning.
Yeah.
And then it would be roughly lunchtime and I'd be like, well, I'm not super, like, I'm still not that hungry. I'll just eat a snack.
Yeah.
And then by the time I'd get really hungry, it'd be like 4. And I'm like, well, it's almost dinner time. So I might as well just wait till dinner. So, you know, it was basically like 1 meal a day. But my body just looked not how I was expecting it to. I'm like, I'm not eating that many calories.
No, but... Well, and here's a good fitness tip. I mean, for men and women, but specifically to women, which is if you do a lot of cardio, do a lot of exercise, and you don't eat a lot of calories, you're going to lose weight, but you're going to lose muscle.
Right.
That's what it applies to anyone, but women are more susceptible to this because women will do a lot of cardio, like, oh, I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to get fit, and then they're like, I'm looking worse. What's going on? Like, I'm not losing the fat. And the reason why is because if you don't have enough protein, then what's going to happen is that when you do all this cardio, you're just burning up the muscle that you have. Then you go to the gym and you lift and you have just enough protein to rebuild what you've lost in muscle, but you probably still over time lose muscle, but the fat just keeps on accumulating. So you'll accumulate fat and you'll lose muscle over time, even though you're working out, even though you're not eating a lot of food, because you're not hitting the protein. But if you eat protein, high protein, then what happens is that you end up building muscle. When you do the cardio on top of that, now that cardio is burning the fat. You know, it's a kind of a simplified version of it. But yeah, I think most women aren't aware of that. More men are aware of it because we're more reading muscle and fitness bodybuilding stuff and, you know, trying to get jacked. But for a woman needs to understand, eating, if you want to really recomp your body more than anything else, probably protein, eating 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight is a good rule of thumb. It's hard to do. That's what we've been doing. We have the protein house now. We got protein shakes. We're doing protein ice cream with the Ninja Creamy. We've got protein chips and protein this and protein pasta. And we're just making sure that we do the protein because I got to get my 250
you have a lot of
grams of protein in 1 meal. So,
but it does help too that you're doing it. I mean, you've always been doing something. I mean, when you did the carnivore diet, I was like, I can't do that with you. I'm sorry. But the protein, I do feel like I've noticed a difference. And like we've been talking about this whole episode so far is that just the confidence that this 5 days that I've been doing it and noticing a difference has given me more confidence back. And that matters the most.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's the thing.
And I think getting more protein is good for anybody to hear. So that's why it doesn't matter. But like if you're a woman and something's not working out, because also what workout you're doing can affect your results as well too.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you're just doing cardio, but you're not getting enough protein, you're eating away at your muscles.
Right.
And like a lot of women also too, if they do like a very high intensity workout, sometimes that causes you to get results that you're not maybe the happiest with. So playing around with different exercises. I mean, honestly, like going to the gym and lifting weights or doing anything where you're working with weights is the best for women.
Women have to do that.
For their bones and for just you think you're going to get bulky, but you're not.
You don't have the testosterone to support it.
Yeah.
Right?
So, but that's women are afraid of that too. But
you only look better by gaining muscle as a woman. Even if you want to and women know this, but like you want your butt to look better, right? You do squats, you're lifting weights. So but the whole body benefits from lifting weights for sure.
Right.
So,
but you can do other things as well too. Like personally, I don't do any workouts that involves a ton of cardio. Like I do my dance classes, some aerial yoga, occasionally some other yoga, like normal yoga, and then Pilates mostly. And then go to the gym with you. So, you know,
but
kind
your
of
dance
figuring
stuff
out
is cardio. It's cardio for sure. Like it's not like that, it's super extreme, but it's
Right.
but it
doesn't count in my head, I guess. In my personal head as cardio. I'm just like, I'm dancing. So, but you're right.
Yeah, most
it is
cardio should really even be zone 2 cardio anyway, which is where you're at, where you can talk comfortably while, like
Doing
a jog, a light jog type of. Yeah. So if you're thinking like super intense, like that's not really even cardio anyway. That's you're in an anaerobic state where you're burning sugar instead of fat. So
yeah. So, well, I'm just saying, figure out what works best for you. And we're not sponsored, but I use ClassPass. I wish we were sponsored.
Yeah.
But I use ClassPass because that allows me to go to all my different classes that I like to go to with one sort of software and one sort of subscription. But I do buy my dance class packs.
And I had the same thing for the last, it's been off and on, but maybe the last year or so before the beginning of this year, before I started doing the 75 hard and stuff and started running it, where I felt bad about myself and it was like, I wasn't looking as good as I like.
I thought you looked good, but you were definitely hard on yourself.
Right. But my version of, I know what I need to look like. Like to me, that's important to me.
Well, it affected your confidence.
Yeah. And now I'm, back to where I need to be, for me.
I can see your veins from
because I like to look in the mirror and admire myself for at least a good 10, 20 minutes a day.
Yes.
And it's an important part of my day. So I gotta be able to do that. If I'm looking in the mirror and it's not what I want to see, then it just ruins that experience for me and I just can't enjoy it,
It's a fun experience to watch.
So.